guys, we're rolling. Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here. Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome to any new subscribers. Welcome to people who have just stumbled upon me for the first time. I hope you enjoy our little visit together. Let's see, it is Tuesday, September 25th at 10:22 in Odenton, Maryland. 70 degrees and cloudy. I hope the light's okay. It's going to be gray and cloudy all week, so it is what it is. Winter, spring, summer, fall. We get a lot of gray and cloudy here in Maryland. So, I have no notes today, which is highly unusual and a little unsettling for me. We're going to wing it. I contemplated sitting down before I started and just trying to remember everything I wanted to talk about, and I figured, you know, if I can do that, then I'll just do it on the fly, because that just takes more time, and, you know, time moves on. So, hi. Thank you to everybody who commented on my last video. The contest is still going on. I'll show the two charts that I'm giving away at the end of the video. As a reminder, you have until Friday. Friday morning I will be doing the drawing and doing the little video of who won. So you have until then to enter. But thank you for all the lovely comments. I hope you enjoy reading my responses as much as I enjoy reading your comments and responding. I just have a lot of fun with the give and take. I think that's an awesome part of this community, so thank you. So let's see. I had mentioned that I'm not going to do a lot of personal stuff on my main Flosstube, but I know there are some of you that don't watch my Stitch with me who did ask for me to do a little bit of an update, so I will. I'll try not to ramble on too long, although things are going to get pretty crazy here. So Mike is in the final stages of the acceptance process. All of the major check boxes have been checked. This week we hope to get his final orders. That means we have sent in, hopefully this week he'll get the email with the final selection, acknowledgement, whatever you call it. Once he gets that, we respond with accepting, and these are the dates we'd like to aim for. The date to actually leave for Hawaii hopefully will be December 4th. Leading up to that, as you know, we're heading out on Saturday to take the RV out to Arizona. We'll be back on October 13th. We are projecting that October 26th we will head to Hawaii for our house hunting trip, actually apartment hunting trip. That's a 10-day trip. We'll get back from that beginning of November-ish, and immediately do our pack out. So that means all the major household goods will get packed out and shipped, as well as the Jeep. Weirdly, annoyingly enough, the government, we will be getting per diem to live on, I don't remember whether it's 30 or 45 days per diem to live on when we are out in temporary quarters in Hawaii. But here, we don't get any per diem for like a rental car after our vehicle is shipped. We only have the Jeep, so that means we either rent a car on our own buck or use Uber and Zipcars a lot. We'll see. It's probably going to be about a month that we'll be out without a vehicle. So yeah, major household goods go out 45 to 30 days ahead of the departure date. And then there's an express shipment of all the little odds and ends we kept here with us. That gets shipped out at this point some unknown time. I don't know when that last minute shipment happens. December 4th we will head to Arizona, spend a couple days in Arizona with Mike's parents, and then head to Hawaii on the 7th. The idea is they want PCSers to get on the plane on a Friday, get there over a weekend, and be ready to report for duty on Monday, the following Monday. So that will be December 7th and December 10th. He would report for duty. So yeah, we'll be there hopefully for Christmas in Hawaii. The boys will probably not be joining us for this Christmas. I know Samuel always likes to do some kind of big music festival thing on New Year's Eve. I don't know. At this point, everything's still up in the air. So that's the plans for that. Mike's mother is still in rehab. She had her pacemaker generator changed last Friday or Thursday. So there's some soreness associated with that, which kind of slows down the rehab on the pelvic. She can't really get up and move her walker that well. They actually did it like the day after surgery, and she was in so much pain that Dick's father reamed the rehab people out. So, or Mike's father. She is hoping to be home by the time we arrive in Arizona with the RV, so that gives her 3 weeks. We shall see. So that's kind of the update from here. We leave Saturday. Our second night we get into Cincinnati. So on the third day, I will be spending the day, a chunk of the day at Keepsakes, meeting Pam and Steph and chatting. My friend, as I mentioned, my friend Janine is... There's a cat getting into the garbage, which is usually a good sign that he's hungry. Hold on. Sasha, no. I will pause this in a second. Yeah, so my friend Janine's coming down from Canada, so we'll be doing some wandering around together as well. So yeah, that's kind of where we are personal stuff-wise. I'm going to pause this here and put some food out for this cat. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I put out food for the cat and he just turned his nose up at it and walked away, so he may be back in here chewing at the garbage at some point. Anyway, stitching stuff. I have some finishes, some one fully finished and one older one that I needed something more, and a really old one that I'm working on finishing. My WIPS, a little bit of haul, and then we'll talk about the giveaway again. Just go over that again. So, fully finished. Most of you saw this on Instagram and various other Facebook groups. But here is Indigo Lane by Brenda Gervais. So I got this board at either Joann's or Michael's. I don't remember which. I had this kind of ivy stuff here stashed in my drawer. I had used this on another finish earlier. And my original intention when I got this board, you can see that it's kind of like a frame type thing in here with this twine wrapped around it. So my original intention was to make something that fit in there. But I loved the way this looked. And I was looking actually for an 8x10 frame for this that I would put trim, like, you know, this is obviously too skinny for an 8x10, so I'd have it angled landscape, or situated landscape, whatever the word is I'm looking for. And I'd still have this centered in the 8x10 frame, and then do some kind of trim along the, you know, the top edge of the frame and the bottom edge of the frame, just to kind of fill in the space and center it and kind of make it easy, you know, using an 8x10 frame. But I messed with this a little bit, and I really like how the ivy pulls out, like the different shades in the ivy here pull out the greens and yellows in the grass, and how this kind of mimics the tree continuing up here. I love how the blue shows against the white, and the little twine kind of pulls out the browns. I just thought this worked really, really well. So there's that. It does not have any type of hanger on the back yet. I'm not going to worry about putting that on until we get to Hawaii, and I figure out exactly how I want to use it. I probably will hang it, but I just didn't worry about putting the hanger on just yet, because it's going to be packed in a box soon. So Indigo Lane. there have been people who've asked me about my color changes, and I have been very remiss in answering that. I am going to put them in the show notes, I think. I may put them on my blog too. I'm not very good about putting show notes on my blog. I don't know whether it's useful or not, and whether it's worth my time, quite frankly. But anyway, Indigo Lane. Thrilled with it. Just thrilled with it. Another thing, personal thing I did want to mention, I had mentioned on last week's Flosstube that Mike and I were thinking of starting a travel YouTube channel. We did create that. It is called Sunsets and Sangria. There's nothing on it yet except our banner, and you know, I don't think I even put anything in the about field yet, so I need to do that. We are going to be filming. We did some filming when we were cleaning the RV over the weekend. We're going to be doing a little video of like an intro type of video. I hope to get those up before we leave on Saturday. So if you think that is something that you would be interested in following us on, and it's going to be everything from, it's not going to have much RV stuff, of course, once we get the RV put away. We are going to film our trip across the country, various aspects of that, so there will be clips of that. And but of course, once the RV is put away, it will be mostly, for the next 3 years, everything else we're doing, everything in Hawaii. When we do come back to the mainland, taking RV trips out, if we do happen to make it to Australia, it's a possibility. So that it's not strictly RV travel. It's going to be everything that we're doing. So even we're planning on getting a kayak, a sea kayak. Mike is desperate to get a sea kayak and get out and do some fishing in Hawaii. So all that kind of adventure will be on that channel. All right, so continuing on with finishes. You guys have seen this before. Happily Ever After by Glory B. This is an old one. I think the chart's from 1998. When I finished this at first, I only had the rickrack around here, and I had asked for you guys' opinion if I should add white or more black. It needed something more because the rickrack wasn't, there were some spaces that you could see, like in between the little curves underneath the frame, underneath the piece. So it needed something. So what I ended up doing, I don't know whether you can see, I saw some of this rayon gimp at Joann's the other day, and so I got that, and I put can you see that, 2 strands of it around the finished piece, around the stitching. And I think that finishes it off much better than just the rickrack. You can't see those gaps anymore, and that was the main thing that was bothering me. You can't really see the gimp real well on camera. You can in real life. But I think it just gives it a more polished finish, a more framed finish, so I'm really pleased with that now. Again, there is no hanger on this. I'll wait till Hawaii because it is getting put away. Excuse my up close, I'm going to put that back there. So the other thing that I am working on finishing, I showed you my iris piece, and there is glass here that's causing a glare. I showed you my iris piece that I had done for my mother years ago. Slip sliding away. That I had taken out of the frame and needed to get a frame for. Well, in the process of cleaning our closet here in the spare bedroom, this frame was just laying in here, and I have a feeling I used this for a scrapbook layout at one point, and then I probably put the layout in an album, and still had the frame. I'm trying to hold it so you can see it, but no glare from these windows. So this, I think this frame is perfect. The only problem is my finished piece is just a tad too big to fit in the frame. I have to take off about 1/4 of an inch on 2 sides of this mat board. Now you can see it is very well framed, but you can also see, look how little bit of fabric there is on this piece, but they still managed to lace it up quite nicely. This was a kit, so this was the fabric that came in the kit. So I will be taking the lacing off, using this mat board and just cutting, like I said, 1/4 of an inch off of 2 sides. It's just that much too big. And then probably relacing. I've never laced, I usually glue. So I will probably be relacing. But because I don't think, even with taking 1/4 of an inch off, like the top and the bottom, it's so little that I don't know if I glue it down, if there's going to be enough to hold down. Usually when I glue my pieces, the next thing I do is, I'm looking to see if I have the type of bag handy that I can show you. You know the cellophane, kind of the here. Hold on. The cellophane bag, like it's not a plastic, it's more like a, cellophane is the word I'm using. I don't know if that's the right, but you can hear how crinkly it is. It's the crinklier, shinier type of bag that some charts come in. After I get my fabric glued down, I always, and I'll have to see if I even have a bag big enough, I always put my projects then, my glued down projects in one of these bags and then stick it between some heavy books. And I probably leave it in for a couple hours so I can make sure the glue has really dried. I use Aleene's. Of course, my bottle of Aleene's is now hiding behind that thing I just reached back there and put. I use Aleene's all-purpose glue. So, but I don't know, even with doing that, if there is going to be enough fabric to hold down, you know what I'm saying, right? To really make contact enough that it'll stick. So I may end up having to relace this. And I've never laced anything. Quite frankly, it looks like a pain in the butt, but I will go and rewatch. If I end up having to do that, I will go and rewatch Teresa's video on lacing projects and give it a go, because I do think this frame is just perfect for this piece. Yeah, you get the idea, right? I think that's really pretty. All right, so that's my finishes. WIPS. 3 of those. So first is playing with jacks. I adore this. I have other things I need to do, so I can't work on this all the time, but I think this is just stinking cute. So here's what I have done. And yeah, the fabric I picked it's just perfect. Look at that. Now, I am ready. My first two pumpkins are done. I've done the back stitching and everything. So I am ready to start the pumpkin that would normally have the face. So this pumpkin, basically the stem is going to fall coming right up in here, and I think that's going to be so cool looking. It may be off a little bit, of course, I don't know for sure, but it's going to be right up, the stem's going to come right up in that dark plot place. You can see the curve of the pumpkin here, and I couldn't have planned that better if I had tried. Now, I will be using the alternate graph for the leaves, and I'm going to show that again. With the leaves in the middle instead of the smiley face on the pumpkin. The pattern for this, I've had several people ask where they can get the pattern for this. When I bought, I just recently bought my Playing with Jacks, and it is, the alternative design is part of the pattern. It is included in there. I don't know whether they had requests for an alternative after they first published the pattern. I'm just going to see when the copyright is. It's never that easy to find copyright, is it? Oh, there it is, 2014. So it's been 4 years. So they might have gotten requests for an alternative pattern, and I think might have put it out as a freebie. Opera Joe had mentioned that she found it. I believe she mentioned that she found it on the internet. But then they, in further printings of the pattern, they did include it in the pattern. So if you have a newer version of the pattern, it should be in there. If not, you might have to go searching on the interwebs. The other thing I wanted to point out, so this is a finished piece that I found in a Google search. I'm sorry, I did not note where I grabbed this from, what blog it was on. But you'll notice, do you see how each one of the acorns in the bottom border is different? It is charted to all be the same color, but this person changed it so they're all different colors, and I think that is gorgeous. So I'm going to do that. The leaves on the middle pumpkin are actually a Silken Colors, Thread Gatherer Silken Colors variegated. So I'm going to go up to the stitching post and see if I can find that or something equivalent. And then I may just use that floss to do the acorns. Or I may do what she did. I don't know. But I think that's so sticking cute, having them all different colors. So yeah, I love everything about this. As I said, I'm only working on this an hour or two every day. Because, dun da da, Harbor Haven has called me back. I'm working on scene 10 of Harbor Haven. So that is over here, as you can see. My goal is to get most of this done, just totally enrolled that, most of this done before we leave for Arizona on Saturday. I will be very surprised if I get it all done, but I really hope to get, it really helps. Here's what scene 10 looks like. It really helps that there are these big chunks of color. So of course I have the house done, I have this dark green grass done. I hope to get this medium green done here tonight. That's a lot. So yeah, I really hope to get most of it done before we leave. I'm not taking it with me because it's just too hard to work on this small of a count without the best lighting. But I think I can get most of it done, so when I come back I can, scene 11, it's hard to believe we're talking about scene 11. The next to last scene will be coming out October 10th. We won't get back until October 13th. So I'd like to be pretty much ready to start scene 11 when we get back. Of course, I won't start it until later in the month because I'll be doing other things. But anyway, Harbor Haven by the Bay Needle Arts, Donna Bayless. Sorry, Donna. Anyway, something else. Oh, lighting in the RV. So, you guys gave great suggestions on what I could do for lighting. I did realize that there's a window behind where our recliners are in the RV, and that window does have a valance box around it, and it's very sturdy. So I realized I could get a clip-on light, and when I'm reclining back, I should be able to have it coming right over my left shoulder, which is my preferred position, right? So I ordered that. We ordered several other things we needed. Amazon is usually so reliable. They were supposed to be delivered Saturday. It set out for delivery, the tracking. Delivered by 9 p.m. They didn't come. Sunday, I looked at the tracking again, and it said they were unable to deliver. Now, we live in an apartment complex, and it is a secure complex, so nobody can get in without a code. But any delivery people, if they come during delivery hours, you know, the front office lets them in. So they must have come after the front office closed, which, you know, they're open till 6 or 7 every day. So they tried to deliver and they couldn't get in. So they requested delivery instructions. So I gave them the number they need to put in the call box to give me a call when they get here so I can just go and take delivery of it. That didn't happen Sunday. We looked yesterday. By Sunday night it was saying undeliverable. We looked yesterday and it said the package was lost. It has been out for delivery since Friday. And now all of a sudden the package is lost, and they want me to get in touch with Amazon and either ask for a refund or request new ones to be shipped. We leave Saturday. I'm giving them one more day to get this straightened out. It's totally the post office or these contractors that they hire. It's totally their fault. I'm giving them one more day. If it isn't here by tomorrow, I'll be calling Amazon customer service and saying you need to ship it overnight. We need it before Friday. I'm not taking the chance. I'm just, Amazon is usually so reliable, but boy, when it gets screwed up, and of course it's always whenever you're on a time deadline, right? Anyways, another WIP. I haven't worked on this since sometime during the week last week. I don't think I worked on it. Maybe I worked on it Friday night. I don't remember. Yeah. American Farmhouse by the Scarlet House. Again, this is the one that is the Farmhouse series from the Country Samplers store in Spring Green, Wisconsin. This is the second in the series. Absolutely adore this. Why can't we stitch all of the things all of the time? I want to do them all. I don't want to put anything down. So I got a good chunk of the house done. This is great mindless, all just this filling in all this white. Love this. So this is the 36 count bark linen that was included in the kit, and Weeks Dye Works floss. So working on the house, have the porch done, and have a good chunk of this over here done, and the outline of the part of the house above the porch. So that is coming along nicely. I realized I didn't tell you, oh, and I'm using my new BB Cutie for that from Kelly, That's So Kelly Co. on Etsy. And this little thing is just perfect and just adorable. I need more Bitsy Bobs, more BB Cuties. I need them all. I didn't mention the fabric. I get questions about the fabric every time, so let me talk about that again. This is 28 count linen. I don't know for sure who or where or what. This has been in my stash for years and years. The tag, any tag that was on it is long gone, but I am fairly 95-ish is what I say, percent certain that this is one of the Crossed Wing collection's hand dyed. I believe I got this to stitch Flower Power on. I still have Flower Power in my stash, but it is, I mean, you know, when I frame this, I may have to frame it so that like I have 2 or 3 inches showing because I just love this fabric so much. So that is 28 count. I am doing 1 strand of floss over 1 linen thread. Hence the fact that I need good lighting for it. And then my fabric for this little cutie is by XG Designs. This is called Dark Mountain. It is a 36 count. I am doing 1 strand of floss over 2 threads of linen. This is one of her subscription club fabrics. Just so gorgeous. All right, so that is that. I think we're down to haul and the contest stuff. First of all, I totally forgot, I think, to mention this in the last video. I had asked, I got this as a freebie from the Counted Needle when I placed my order with them. I asked, I won't do this, so I asked if anybody wanted it. 3 people requested it. I did my drawing, and the person that won was the 1952 Trouble, Deborah. Deborah, I'm not even going to say get in touch with me. I have your email from an earlier drawing. I'm thrilled that Deborah won this. Deborah is a brand new stitcher. She doesn't have a whole lot of money. She's always on the lookout for free charts. I've given her some tips and tricks on that in the past, so I'm thrilled that she won this because I know she will appreciate it greatly. So Deborah, that is going to you. I got some stitchy goodness in the mail from Linda Hogel, Stitches with Sophie. We all know her on Instagram and on whatever this thingy's called here. People, my brain. Over the next 2 months, it'll be interesting to see how far I spiral down into insanity. Okay, so we had agreed, she had asked if I would mind, when I am done with this little beauty, if I would mind passing it to her, and of course I don't mind at all. So we had agreed on an exchange. She sent me a pretty, whoops, look how pretty that little card is. And the envelope is just as gorgeous. Isn't that gorgeous? You can really, it almost looks 3D with the shadowing there. I might have to frame this and just hang it up, you know? Oh, so pretty. So our exchange was for the autumn thing. She would send me one of the loose feathers. So this is one of the ones that I don't have. I think I only have 3 of them now, so there's a lot I don't have. But love everything about that. And you know, what fabric is that? That's Wren. I thought so. Every time I see Wren, I think I have got to get myself some Wren. That is so pretty. I say that a lot, don't I? So pretty. So pretty. It's so pretty. Linda very generously included another chart, though. Summer House Stitchworks, A Baltimore Bride. Sophia! Look how cute. I've actually eyed this. I've eyed a lot of their, they had like a whole bunch of things in that theme color. I love them all. So I think that is adorable. What fabric is that? That's a beautiful fabric as well. Don't you just love when I have to squint? Oh, it's doubloon. I need some doubloon too. Oh, so pretty. So I need to get this going so that I can get this to Linda, since she already sent me the ones, you know, in the trade. I don't think that's going to take a lot of time because of all the words. I may try and pull the fabric and the floss before we leave and make this my travel project, although I really want to take the pumpkins too. I can't take too much because, you know, we're driving out there in the RV, but we're flying back, and we'll just have carry-ons. We're just, most of the clothes will be staying in the RV. We'll have like the clothes on our back. Most of the toiletries stay there. Pretty much all the toiletries will stay there. So we'll really just have a few carry-ons, and I guess I could have it loaded up with all kinds of stuff, but all of my projects. So I'll have a knitting project and probably a couple stitching projects. And this may be one of them. And Mike just came home, so hold on. Okay, so other haul are just a couple charts. A woman named Karen Campbell, I believe her name was, showed this on, whoops, not upside down there though, showed this on, I believe it was Stitch Mania. And I love all things Indian, so I had to get this. This is a quote from Gandhi here, and I wrote down here. It means, one step at a time is enough for me. So I will translate that. I'll change that to English and try and find an alphabet that works, because I don't think all the letters are going to be there, but I will make it work. This below is Sanskrit, so I'm not sure what that says. I know some of the letters. I wish I knew what it said. If anybody out there, I mean, Sanskrit is a dead language. It's not like anybody knows it. But if there is anybody out there who is familiar with this chart, who knows what the Sanskrit says, I would appreciate knowing that. So anyways, I got that one. And I got this from so-and-so in the UK. This is the only place I could find this. Somebody else on the thread on Stitchmania where Karen had posted this asked, because I think I had mentioned that I did find it at so-and-so, so she asked to confirm, because when she went to look for it, it was no longer in stock there, so I very well may have gotten the last one. Very interesting thing though. So I did order from so-and-so, which I believe is a UK site. It says soandso.co.uk on the URL, right? The package came from Sweden. I also got there it is, a kit, because no chart can travel alone, right? And especially if it's coming from the UK or Sweden. I also got this. This is from the Russian company Be. I don't know how you pronounce that. And this is called Vitreous Art number 2. There is a number 1 that's the same style that I also adore. I may end up getting that at some point. It's from somewhere, but I love this. I love the watercolor look. I love the kind of charcoal pencil drawing look of it. I just think this is gorgeous. It did come, like I said, it was a kit. It did come with the floss all carded, this full skein. I don't know what company that is, but that's okay. It came with all of the floss. And it did come with Ada. I will not be stitching it on the Ada. And what I may do, probably when we get back from Arizona, but before the pack out happens, before we go to Hawaii, all the different kits that I have Ada in, because I don't like stitching with Ada. You know, I prefer the linens or the even weaves. I will probably gather together all my different Ada pieces and see if anybody of you out there want them. Most of them are going to be white, so it's not like they're anything fancy, but I'll be happy to just mail them to you if you can use them. So anyways, Vitreous Art number 2. I want to start that right now too. I don't know whether I'll do it on white. I might do it on one of these colors. This is probably half stitches in the background here. I don't know. I'd love to hear any suggestions you have, because I don't know. Okay, so last but not least, the giveaways. Again, 2 giveaways. Prairie Life Sampler. And I'm giving you this selection. These are 5 yards that I've pulled from various of my Victorian motto threads. These ones should all work for some of the colors in the sampler if you so choose. If not, you don't have to. But you are getting this. One person will get that, and one person will get this. This is Forget Me Not by Victorian Motto, Nancy Turner. And I've just pulled some floss from my collection, some Victorian Motto floss for you to have. And these are the full 20-yard skeins. So they aren't ones necessarily to be used in this chart. You certainly could if you wanted to. Probably not this one, but these 2 would probably work. But anyway, that is one of the prizes. This is the other prize. I want you to put in your comments, I want to stitch Prairie Life, or I want to stitch Forget Me Not, or I want to stitch both. You will not win both. One person will get one person will get the other, but if you don't really care which one you win, put I want to stitch both. If you do care which one you win, then state which one you prefer to win. All right, guys. That's all for today. Again, thank you for being here. I didn't think it was going to be that long, but I think it probably was longer than I thought, but that is okay. I will be getting the whip parade from my knitting up Thursday, and then Saturday we leave. So, have a great week. Find your joy. It's out there waiting for you. No matter what it is, make sure you find some joy in every day. It'll make you happy. Have a great week, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.